Hello, America. We have some Obamalees we'd like to talk about tonight. Welcome to the Glenn Beck program in GBTV. The President and the First Lady, I'm having a hard time thinking they give a flying crap about the economy, or you. 16 vacations, 90 rounds of super golf, and sending minions out to buy expensive jewelry and designer clothing. How do these people afford all of this? Has anybody in the press asked that question? How do they afford all of these super sweet vacations that they're paying for? How much does the president make? Is it still $250,000 a year? That's barely even rich, you know. I'm sure it's just under the line of rich. He made, I know, in his best year, I think he made, about $4 million. But he made that 1 year. Remember, he's a public servant. How are they paying for all of this stuff? And what's amazing is they not only buy, super great designer clothes and have all these luxurious vacations, but then they flaunt it. They flaunt it. They have these wild parties at the White House while the country is suffering from the worst economic crisis, quoting President Obama, since the Great Depression. I don't remember FDR in his wheelchair rocking out. I mean, maybe it's just me. Doesn't it look bad? And we're coming up to an election. Why don't they care? Some things just bother me. Now, at the same time, he's saying that he can relate to the average American person. Last week, the president tried to speak with a straight face about the value of putting $40 in the pockets of Americans. Listen to this.
And when gas prices are on the rise again, because as the economy strengthens, global demand for oil increases.
Wait a minute, hang on. I don't even know where to start with that one. That's a short, idiotic, and amazing soundbite. First of all, don't talk to me like you understand about the value of $40, okay? You, sir, took the debt, $5 trillion, racked it up. $5 trillion since you took office 3 years ago. If you gave that money back to every man, woman, and child in America, we'd each be $16,600 richer. Instead, our children have this debt from you. When George Bush did a fraction of this in 8 years, you called him, Mr. President, un-American. What do we call you, super un-American? Also, you just said there, and this one kills me, that gas prices are going up, and it's a sign of economic health. No, sir, it's not a sign of economic health. Remember, it was the gas prices that broke the camel's back in 2008. When gas prices jump, things aren't going great. I mean, if they are going great, you wouldn't notice because your income would also be going up. But that's not what's happening now, is it? Gas prices, what was your words? Oh, yeah, will necessarily skyrocket when we have instability in the Middle East. Check. Economic uncertainty. People don't want to invest their money because you never know what the government's going to do. Check. We're going to have higher gas prices when we stop drilling for our own oil. Check. Here, how about this one? Gas prices will go up when we start to impose unreasonable regulations. Huh. You've done all of these things. Isn't that amazing? A simple look at the recent history of gas prices and economic crashes shows what happens when gas prices rise. Here we have it. Now, there's the gas prices. Gold lines are the crashes. That's pretty wild. Look at that. Crash. Prices going up or down? Oh, crash. They go up, and then there's a crash. They go up, and there's crash. Up, and there's a crash. Up, and there's a crash. Got it? Gas going up, not a sign of good things on the horizon. Now, if the president were somehow or another unaware of these facts, it was just like, I just came into the Oval Office, which is really like a circle, and I sit down and I don't know what gas prices and economy, you could just say he's ignorant. We could even be kind and generous and say the man misspoke. But that's impossible. Because remember, he is so smart, he's bored to death every day, according to his good friend and his wife's aide, Valerie Jarrett. He's been bored to death his whole life. Don't you feel bad for him? He's just too talented to do what ordinary people do. He's super president. Really? It's just so easy for him, it's hard. It's beneath him. Yeah. If he's that super smart, then the president was clearly lying when he said gas prices are going up because the economy is strengthening, because the economy is not strengthening, as the president knows. That, sir, is a lie. And it's time somebody in the media, what do you say? The media, they say you call them on those things. Gallup came out today with a report that predicts unemployment will rise to 9% in February, up from 8.3. What do you think? Is that an economic indicator that's pointing in the right direction or the wrong direction? Meanwhile, the press dutifully accepts and repeats this administration's explanations that gas goes up because the economy is on the rebound. They're an accomplice. They're lying as well. Will anyone challenge the president? Will anyone challenge the press? Like they challenged Bush in 2004, when unemployment was at 5.6% and gasoline was at $1.73. Boy, everybody thought it was a really big deal then.
You know, a government run for the oil company.
Drivers are paying a heavy price for the Bush administration's failure to enact a comprehensive energy strategy. This Congress, under the Democratic leadership, is working to make up for years of inaction, taking America in a new direction that helps bring down the cost of gas.
Gas prices have more than doubled since George Bush became our president.
I understand how desperate folks are. I mean, I met a guy who couldn't go on a job search, had lost his job, couldn't go on a job search because of the high price of gas. Just couldn't fill up his tank. I met a teacher in South Dakota who loved her job as a teacher on an Indian reservation. She had to quit because the drive was too far. It was taking up too much of her paycheck. I know how bad people are hurting.
He knows. He knows, and it's even more important now that he knows that gas is on its way to $4 and $5 a gallon. And at $4 or $5 a gallon, things are going to get pretty bad pretty fast. We're heading in that direction. So, the media, they all knew it. The politicians knew it. What is the media saying about this rise in gas prices?
You wouldn't think high gas and oil prices would be a blessing in disguise, but they are. As Victor Lopez found out, they're causing a big jump in the number of jobs.
We turn now to 5 things you should know about gas, specifically why gas prices, even at over $4 a gallon, can sometimes be a good thing.
And we know that rising gas prices are forcing us to search for alternative fuels and more fuel-efficient cars. There are some other reasons to be optimistic about the high cost of gas. Here are just a few of them.
2,220 people have already been saved over the past year because a reduction in driving has led to less particle pollution in the air. If gas prices stay at $4 a gallon for a year or more, then we can expect that about 1,000 people a month will not die.
Really? Wow. Wow. Why do you want to kill people with low gas prices? You evil, evil SOB.